It's finally summer.
It's finally summer.
There's something different about summer page. The vibe is better. You know, maybe it's the watermelon or maybe it's the seasonal depression. We will never know. Summer is the season of romance, and I refuse to leave my apartment or talk to anybody at all. So obviously we're turning to summer romance reads. My goal for this summer is to be in water more. Like I want to be in water, enjoying myself. And I also have a whole bunch of romance reads that I've been dying to get into. Cough, cough, I'm looking at you, funny story. And I'm going on a little family trip. So I think this is gonna be a really fun vlog. Okay, first romance read, let's talk Allie Hazelwood. Her books can be a little bit hit or miss for me because they're so based on tropes that it kind of just depends on what your preferences are. But either way, her writing is exactly what I think about when I'm trying to find a summer romance beach read. And I think her newest book, Not in Love, just came out. And I don't know anything about it, but it's an Allie Hazelwood book called Not in Love. I think we're all sensing a little bit of hate to love here. Big man, small little woman, and of course a whole bunch of women in STEM. Perfecto. Perfecto. Okay, I'm in bed again, but it has been some time. I did manage to go outside and get my hands on some water yesterday. It was a wonderful time, and I started listening to Not in Love, and I actually have a bunch of notes. I needed to share these thoughts with you, okay? Because Not in Love was not what I expected. I was so wrong and truly need to eat my words because it's not a hate to love and it's not a typical Allie Hazelwood book. She has this note at the very beginning that's like, hey guys, so this book is actually not a rom-com and it's not like my other books and it's kind of more based on the trauma that these characters have experienced and it's a bit darker, so enjoy the ride. I was in fact looking for a summer beach read, so this was a bit of a turn of events, but it's fine. I was like, you know what, it's still an Allie Hazelwood book. It's still an Allie Hazelwood book. I'll still enjoy it. It's gonna be fine. I was wrong about the story being a hate to love. There is this kind of ongoing conflict between the main characters, but it's not a fun, lighthearted romance at all. It's very intense and like lustful from the very beginning, which is just making it hard to mentally connect to my brain that like I'm reading an Allie Hazelwood book right now. It's honestly on me. Like I would have known that this isn't like her other books if I had done even a single second of research. Oh my god. And the two main characters are so obsessed with each other that it's almost too much. It's like they're describing each other as so hot and so perfect that I kind of can't even imagine a real person. Like I'm just imagining almost cartoon characters. It's almost like it's past just being attracted to someone and moving into like mate territory where you are physically and mentally wired to be obsessed with this person, which is good in a romance to an extent, but eventually it kind of becomes like too much of a fantastical element to work in a book like this that's like grounded in reality versus something like Bride that is literally in a fantastical world. Okay, like I wrote down this quote that is only 20% of the way through this book. Like we are just at the very beginning. It says, then just as gently, a lot more slowly, he closed his fingers around mine. There were 2 layers of gloves between our skin. I could barely feel his heat, but his grip was possessive, at once taking and making an offer. What? There is no sexual layer to this interaction, but it's just the tone of this book is so rooted in lust. And also, I don't know if it's because I'm listening to the audiobook at 1.25 speed, but the narrator for the dude, I think the character's name is Eli, but the voice actor sounds exactly like Penn Badgley from You. And it's like kind of creeping me out a little bit because of the voiceovers in the show.
Well, hello there. Who are you?
Oh
my god.
I don't know, man. Maybe I've been reading too much YA recently, but nothing overtly sexual has happened in this story, and I truly am feeling scandalized. Like, put a bonnet on my head and send me back to the 1800s because this is a lot. Hear ye. I would like to present a case to the court on this fine day in regards to the one and only Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood, and how it has been classified by the publishing industry as a romance novel.
Hey! Oh my god, funny story. Everything that you're about to see in this little bit that I do is wrong and I'm an idiot. In that disclaimer that I mentioned about Ali Hazelwood saying that this book is not like other books and that you will hear me mention again, she explicitly says that this book isn't really a rom-com like her other books, it's actually more of an erotic romance, which is the entire point that I'm about to try to make in this bit. And I think it's important for people to own up when they make a mistake and when they're wrong. So this is me doing that, okay? You have my permission to laugh at me instead of with me because I am an idiot. Hearts in the chat for Ali Hazelwood. I can't believe the industry got me again. Damn it.
Now, before I begin to present my case to the court, I would like us all to understand that genre is in fact a marketing tool used by publishing in order for books to find readers and readers to find books. Not in Love has been categorized as a romance novel in the way that all of her other works have as well, and yet even Ali Hazelwood herself has stated that this novel is not like the others, and I would like to propose to the court today that it is not in fact a romance novel, it is instead an erotica. Now let me present the only evidence I have other than my own opinion. Romance stories are those that are driven by story. They are focused on the plot of love. Erotica is driven by smooshing. The plot is not the focus of the story, and while there is a plot present in Not in Love, I would argue that the presence of, the tension surrounding, and the repeated acts of aforementioned smooshing seem to be both the focus and the drive pushing this story forward. And while there is nothing wrong with erotica, and this is in fact a well-written novel, it just isn't being marketed properly. And now I understand that the court has a very pressing question for me regarding this topic. Why does it matter? Well, it kind of doesn't, but I believe that it should be brought to the attention of the masses because this one article that I've read shows that romance is the highest earning genre in fiction, and yet erotica is seen as taboo in society, while TikTok has shown us how horny the streets can be. In conclusion, the industry is trying to fool us and steal our money, and I rate this book 3 stars. Thank you so much for attending my court today, and now the session has concluded. After experiencing a little bit of a genre switch up with Not in Love, I want to turn back to a quintessential summer romance author, which to me, in my mind, first person I'm thinking of these days, Emily Henry. I love Emily Henry. I think she's absolutely incredible, talented, and I know I'm not alone because she made up 32% of all romance sales in 2023. That's crazy. But I haven't read her newest release yet, Funny Story, because I've been saving it. I always save all of these books that I think are gonna be favorites of mine for like times when I feel like I'm in the right mental space and physical space and the vibe is gonna be perfect. And so I just always put them off and off and off and never end up reading them. But it's summer. I'm in the perfect mindset for this. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling positive and excited, but also ready to get emotional if that's what Miss Emily Henry wants me to do. I can do that for her. Okay, I was thinking about this yesterday. I feel like, to me, Emily Henry is slowly becoming the type of author that I trust in the way that I trust Taylor Swift. I don't believe that Taylor Swift is capable of putting a bad album out, at least for me. Like, I'm going to love every album that she puts out because I really like like Taylor Swift music. And that takes a lot of time and trust building to get to that place. And slowly but surely, I think Emily Henry is getting there. We'll see. But this is maybe a test. We're gonna test the foundation of Emily Henry's trust with her readers. Is it as unbreakable as it feels? I don't know. I really, really hope so. I'm so excited for this book. Good morning. Here's the little update. I stayed up until 3 in the morning trying to finish this book, and I didn't. I got to that point where I stopped being able to process what I was reading, and so I was like, wait, what happened? Because I was so tired, and I was like, no, I need to be present. I need to put the book down so that I can enjoy the ending, because I only have 31 pages left. I am literally at the very end of this book, and so it was the first thing that I thought about this morning when I woke up, and I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings, but I don't want to say anything really until the end because I don't know how to say it. And obviously I don't know my final thoughts until I get to this conclusion, but there's a lot going on up there, and that's rare. The end. Wow. I'm so glad that I finally read this book, and I think that I was more right than I knew about the Emily Henry Taylor Swift trust comparison, because this is a 4-star read for me. I loved it. I think that Emily Henry is an incredible writer. I just don't think she's capable of putting out a bad book. Her style is developed enough that I think if you like Emily Henry books, then you're going to like the ones that she continues to put out, in the same way that Taylor Swift can't put out a bad album because I like Taylor Swift music. That being said, I don't want to sound negative because I really liked the book. I just feel like I sound negative when there's like a but this book didn't connect to me as deeply and personally as some of the other ones did, which is why it's not quite a 5-star. But it's not because I think it's better or worse than any of her other books. It's just because of who I am and my like subjective personal life experiences. But the last thing that kept kind of worming around in my brain while I was reading this was the similarity that it has to Not in Love. I don't know if it's just because I literally just read Not in Love, but there was some kind of tonal shift in both of these books compared to all of the other ones by both of these authors that I just felt was so similar. I think that it was the more in-depth focus that both of the books have on the trauma of the characters and like overcoming that trauma, which I know that having characters struggle with something and learn to overcome it by the end of a story is like the first lesson in writing 101. But there was something about the tone of the trauma and how it's focused on in the books and how the romance specifically plays into the way that the characters deal with it that was just different in both of these books. Not in Love and Funny Story are so unbelievably different from each other, and the way that plot in general is used in both of these books is so different. And I don't know if this is too niche because it's about 2 really specific books, but like, do you know what I mean? Is it just like the natural writing progression of having written so many books, or is it like these 2 authors in specific, or is it something about the publishing industry right now? Like, I don't know. After the unexpected emotional weight of both Not in Love and Funny Story, I think that I need to find something that's gonna be more like the brain candy that I was kind of looking for in this experience. And I keep seeing Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez floating around. Everybody's talking about it, so I think I'm gonna give that a try and hope for the best. I just started listening to the Just for the Summer audiobook, and there's a freaking disclaimer in the first 2 seconds about how some things may be triggering and upsetting in this story. It's been like 15 minutes since I finished the Emily Henry book. The dedication or whatever was for the readers, and I'm still so emotional from the Emily Henry book that it almost made me cry, and then it jumps right into a disclaimer about how the book might be triggering. This isn't just gonna be brain candy. As you just saw, I got to go on a boat today, which was a very fun surprise, and I honestly was not expecting to actually be in so much water. When I said at the beginning of this vlog that I wanted to touch water this summer, I kind of meant like over the course of the summer and not just this week, but it was a happy coincidence. I did also get to finish Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. It was exactly what I needed after Not in Love and Funny Story. Brain candy, but with good writing, good plots, great characters. As someone that's kind of a pessimist, it's really nice to read a lot of books about really good people. Like, Justin and Emma are amazing people. For the most part, in romance books, it annoys me when the two characters don't really have a reason to love each other and have this chemistry and romance. And while I do think that Justin and Emma have those qualities about each other and like love each other for good reason, whatever, Justin is kind of the exception to that rule, because he just sees this woman and is like, oh no, this is it for me. Oh no, like this is actually it for me. And he's just like a selfless and loyal type of person in general. Like, he's a caregiver. Oh my god, I love Justin. I will say the momentum kind of slowed down in the second half for me. And there's this fake dating plot that gets set up at the beginning because these two main characters are only dating each other because they're both cursed to send the people that they date off to find their soulmate. Like, they're always the person before the one. And so they decide to date each other for like a month to see if that will cancel it out, and then they can go meet their soulmates. And then, you know what's gonna happen. But because of this curse breaking thing, they have a little fake dating plot, and I love fake dating because there's like these blurred lines involved. Is this moment real? Is this fake? And I wish that that kind of tension and confusion and angst and yearning had lasted a little bit longer in the book, because it was one of my favorite parts of the build up to their relationship. But I did still love the ending. It was the perfect way to end a little summer romance reading binge. I think the truest actual beach read type of book out of this selection is definitely Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Like, you can read this on the beach without sobbing. You'll be okay, and it'll be like hee 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 the whole time, which is wonderful. So I think my overall conclusion here is to read more Abby Jimenez books. That's mostly what I learned. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you're looking for summer romance reads, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and weekend. I don't know. Bye!